Today, first time in 8 months since the onset of COVID, I'm going to pick up my parents in about an hour and a half. Bring them over here. We're going to grill dinner for them, and we're having a family friend of ours, Brenda, and her husband Dave, and their son Jason, who are from Salt Lake City, Utah. They're visiting Arizona, and they're going to come over here for dinner as well. Brenda is our friend from Minnesota, who I grew up with, and she was at all of our family functions ever since I was, since I can remember. So she's like my sister, and she's going to come and hang out here too.
Why do you think your parents have been locked up basically at home, and they've decided that this is an okay exception?
They've been locked up at home because of COVID. My mom's immunosuppressant with her rheumatoid arthritis and the medications that she's on. So it's basically a decision that I make where I don't want people around them. But this is a special occasion where we know the people who are coming here is responsible. I'm still a little bit leery of them coming over here, but I put the choice in my mom and dad's hands, and they were hands down, yeah, let's try it out.
Did Brenda and her husband Dave get a COVID test?
I told Brenda, as long as that they're feeling fine and they come here with masks, they can come over. I'm assuming I know how they are. They're responsible people. And if there was any symptoms, they would have gotten tested. And if they would have felt sick, they would have told me right away. I actually asked her, specifically to tell me if anybody was feeling sick, we would just, we'd cancel it. But she hasn't contacted me, so I just have to, believe that she's fine.
So Brenda's safe. She's responsible. You trust that if she was feeling sick, she wouldn't come over. Is that to say that your mother's senior friends are irresponsible?
I wouldn't say that. I think they're much more cognizant of the situation because they understand that they're the ones at higher risk. So I think most of my mom's friends, if not all of them, are to the point of hypochondriacs, where if they're ever feeling sick or if anything's wrong, I know for a fact that they call their doctor. Even before COVID, they were super paranoid about sicknesses and would call their doctors for every little sniffle that they had.
So then why can't your mom's friends come over?
I think that's more of my dad's choice, as of him controlling who comes into the house or not, who he wants to hear and who he doesn't want to hear. I think he's using it towards his advantage.
Your dad trying to make your mom unhappy?
No, he's not trying to make her unhappy, but he just, he's just that type of person where, he likes certain people more than others, and if he can use something as an excuse to have them not come over, he will, and this is perfect for it.
So how are you going to feel if after today's visit your parents start exhibiting symptoms because they picked up COVID from the kids?
Well, I would be very upset because I told the kids, they plan on going to Halloween parties, and I'm like, of all the times, this is the time not to go and be around other people because COVID's spiking right now, and you deciding to go out to parties, you're putting our family at risk. You're not putting yourselves at risk because you're young, you have healthy immune systems, but us, including me, we're older, and it's awfully selfish. If they go out and they get sick and come back and bring it to us, then we all have to jump through hoops, go through quarantine. We can't go into the office. I can't go take care of my parents, so it just opens up a whole new ball game, and it's not fair.
What if we had it and we didn't know, and your parents ended up getting it, and only they experienced the bad symptoms? How would you feel?
I would have a hard time saying, I told you so to my kids. I wouldn't. But it would be in the back of my mind, it's like, this is just an example of where you're thinking for the fun times right now and not thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow. I'd be extremely upset, because if my parents go into the hospital, it could be the last time to see them because we're not allowed to go in and see people in the hospital. So I'd be very upset, very unfair.
You wouldn't feel like there would be any blame on you for bringing him over? Knowing that the kids just went to these parties?
No, because I just like Thanksgiving coming up, we presented it to my parents and they decided that they weren't going to come over, and I honored that. And at this time when Brenda was coming to town, I let them make a decision if they wanted to come over, and they said yes, so it's on them. It's not me.
Do your parents know that the kids went to parties with lots of people?
No, they don't. I think my parents would anticipate that we would be the responsible ones to make sure that they're, healthy after these parties.
So they're making a decision without all the facts.
Yep.
You wouldn't feel bad if your parents ended up getting COVID?
I'd feel horrible.
Just do
You
it
never been to a football game?